Alright, my name is White Hat. I'm going to be doing a tutorial for Mega Man 1. This is going to be the 6 Robot Masters. I'm pretty much going to go over how to do every zip, pretty much every zip, and show off like multiple ways you can do it. And I'll go over like minor small things through the run that may not be evident if you're just watching like a top run. Alright, so we'll just start with Cutman. Cutman's pretty simple. No real tricks. It's all just having a clean movement. You start off. You can just jump over these guys. It avoids them leaving drops, which can end up costing time. All right, now here's a little trick that might not be evident. You stand under, like under this ladder. You see it's kind of hard. You have to be like on like a pretty exact pixel to jump straight up there. But if you're standing directly within a couple of pixels under it, you hold down and then jump. It auto centers you under the ladder. Then you can just jump up again. There's a real easy strat if you don't want to do that. You can just hold up instead of down, and you can climb up, and you'll be able to keep going. These ways, I mean, these screens, you can pretty much just copy a route of like a top runner. Do a little corner jump here, if you feel like going for it. If you're just starting out, you might not want to go for that because it's really frustrating going for that. Alright, now here we're going to do our first select glitch. So you see, when you run into an enemy, like you just run into this guy, you see he gets into that like damage animation. And while he's in that animation, you actually can't move at all. So as soon as you get hit from this guy, you want to do select, unselect. And we just call that the select glitch. And then as soon as you unselect, the animation is cancelled, and you can regain control. Yeah. There's various different patterns these Suzy rooms can give you. Do the select glitch there. If you jump quick enough off those blocks, you can make it up with your iframes still, and you don't have to stop. That room has like random lag in it, and like 2 different patterns it can do. These guys, I just shoot these guys. I'm gonna grab this health because I took unnecessary damage. There's one minor thing on this. We're gonna do a ladder wrap, which if you can be directly above, see the ladder on the bottom of the screen. If you can be directly above that, you can hit up from the top of the screen, and you can grab the very bottom of the screen. But if you continue holding A in your jump, all you have to do is tap up, and you'll auto grab and then let go of the ladder. Same here. If you're holding A, you just tap down. He auto drops off. That guy's random whether or not he does a high jump or a low jump. He does over 1/3 of your health, so if you take a lot of damage, he can be some trouble. Alright, now there's pretty much two ways you can fight Cutman. There's a really easy way, which I'll show you. You get him stuck in like a damage loop. You just walk down here and you shoot. And you just keep shooting him, hitting him as soon as his iframes run out. He does, his blade does 4 damage, I believe. So if you only have 4 damage, like 4 health, like I do, it could be trouble. Alright, the other way is if you do a jump like right at this crack right here. You do a jump there, do a jump and shoot, he jumps right into it. So it's a good cue for that, the crack in between those blocks. If you do a jump and a shoot right there, he jumps right into it, and then you hit him a little bit earlier that way. You can take an extra hit there, if you have the health, and you can kill them slightly faster. You'll see some of the top runners do that to save a couple of frames. And that's pretty much Cutman. Cutman is, there's not much to it. You just copy one of the top runners if you need to figure out where you're losing time. Alright, so we'll go to Elec, and we'll get to our first zip. So I'm just going to do it for my save states, but you do one to the left for after you beat Cutman. One to the left is choosing Elec. So you do some tight jumps here. You might take a little bit of practice to get used to, especially if you're on an emulator. Fine, it's way harder when there's a input delay. You just select glitch through that guy. You don't have to be super fast in this room because you have to wait for that electricity. Alright, we can talk about ladder drop shots real quick here, which are pretty useful. So you see if you shoot, how he goes into like his shooting animation, and it stops you from climbing. If you do a and B, and then either up and right, or up and left, if you do either of those, it's called a ladder drop shot. You see I shoot and it just, you don't even see the shoot animation really, if you do it fast enough. So I'm holding up and left as I'm climbing, and then doing A and B together. It takes a little bit of practice to get used to, but for the fast climb, like at the very end of the stage, it's pretty essential. So you can practice this on pretty much any ladder. And if you go quick enough through these rooms, you do just two drop shots on these two, that top guy will never hit you. This room is just a couple of Yoku blocks. If you want to do the corner jump, we come to the left here. And you pretty much just have to figure out a cue that works for you. A cue that I like to use is like, as soon as the back of Mega Man's head gets to the edge of this block above, that's when I would jump. Oh, wait, get out of the way. And you just make that corner jump. It saves the time that these... See, you're losing a couple seconds waiting for those Yoku blocks. But unfortunately, if you miss this jump, it costs you like 13 seconds. So it's up to you whether or not you want to go for it. If you're going for a really good time, you're going to want to go for it. Just because it's free time save. Keep going. Nothing to this room. Oh, just don't fall in the pit. Here. We need two more ladder drop shots on these two guys. And then the top guy won't get you. This room. Easy peasy. This room, one shot, and then you're good. Alright, now this is the first major trick of the run. So the old route used to be that you had to go and go to Guts first, so then you could come here and those are throwable blocks up there, but that's slow, so we're just going to do this. If you're on this above this ladder, if you tap down in B for just one frame, like that, you see I'm grabbed onto the ladder like higher than you're supposed to be. Like you're not supposed to be able to be on the ladder at that point. So if you need to be able to get on the ladder like that. There's a couple of easy cues if you're doing this wrong. If you go down the ladder, that means that you're holding down for too long. It's just a nice little, just a little flick. Just a little flick, and that'll be like a one frame. And you just hit B at the same time you do that. This could be pretty tricky until you get the hang of it. So once you actually get the hang of that, and then if you're just shooting and not getting on the ladder, I think that means you're hitting B too soon. And once again, you can practice this on any ladder in the game. So it's just down and B for 1 frame. It's really the down is the important part for that. You need to hit on just 1 frame. And then once you get on this, you just need to make sure you're shooting left. And then all you do is just tap up. And then you are out of bounds. And then we can jump from here. If you you need to jump, and at your max height, you just tap right, and then we get to the right side. And in order to get out of the wall, you just hold right for I believe it's 10 frames, and then you need to tap left 1 frame after that. So you be in the running animation, and you just tap left for 1 frame after, and then you can wiggle over, just inch over, and then as soon as you grab it, you just hit A, and then you do the same to get out of the wall. So hold right for at least 10 frames, and then tap left. So you're just right and then immediately left, and that's how you get out. So we can go over how it looks when you're a little bit quicker. So that's a pretty quick magnet grab right there. So this is the first major trick, so we need to be able to be good at this trick. And once you actually get the hang of it, you can actually, if you hit left and A on the same frame from this position, if I can do it, you can actually jump up and get out up here. It saves maybe 2 seconds. That might be too high. It might be a little bit less than that. But it saves a noticeable amount of time. Yeah, so once we have the magnet grab, or the magnet, we gotta keep going. What I like to do in this room is I take a hit from that guy, then we switch to magnet to cancel that knockback. And this is just what I do through the stage. You can find your own way through the stage. I do a magnet there, come up, place a magnet, take this hit, and then you can do a magnet there. We're gonna do 2 beams in this room. Yeah, the magnet beam is pretty tricky to get the hang of, and it can be frustrating because it's really hard to put it where you want when you're just starting out. See, like that, put it too high. This final room, I think I have to stay here. Right here. Yeah, this is the fast way. Just place 3 beams on your way up. This room, I find this room is one of the trickiest rooms to learn in the whole game. But if you can get the hang of this, that means you're starting to get really good control of the magnet beam. You go up here, and you hope this guy does a big jump. Yay! Because if you didn't have the cleanest stage, he can definitely kill you right there. Alright, so the last part of Elect stage is this fast climb. So you remember the drop shots we were talking about, which I do, the way I do it is I hold up and left. You can do it up and to the right if you want to do it to the right side, but I find the left side is a lot easier. So you see, like, if we place a magnet beam, see all that time we stop? That's going to make it really tough to do the fast climb if we're doing it like that. But we can do a quick place like that. Let's see here. And that's going to be essential for getting this fast climb. So my cue for this, I'll just do the first screen so you see how I do it. And then that skips 3 cycles of the electricity of having to stop and wait. So my cue that I use is as soon the screen's going to scroll, and then as soon as I see that I start to be climbing again, that's when I do the drop shot. So I see, then I place it, and I place 1 to the left, place 1 more to the left, and then we jump up. So that's this is very tricky when you're first starting out, but it's pretty easy to get the hang. Once you have a handle on it, it gets pretty easy. There's a safer way. It's a little bit slower. You just do that. If you have trouble placing the very first beam. This still saves a couple of seconds. These electricity beams do 4 damage. 4 damage, right? Yeah, they do 4 damage. So you have to be mindful of your health on this climb. So we'll try and just do it. You really want to do a drop shot here to start out. It just gives you the window to jump off of it way, makes it way bigger. And that's how I do it. There's other people do it different ways. You really just got to figure out a way that works for you. As long as you can get off that first one, you're not going to lose any time. Maybe frames, but not very much. And there is a chance that you get subpixeled on the very first beam, which is unfortunate. Like, I'm getting all good beams here. But there's a chance that you can get subpixeled, and that you won't be able to make it to the beam, which is just a problem with the magnet beam. And the fight for Elecman, actually really easy. Alright, so coming into a boss fight, if you just hold down start, which we do this pretty much for every boss fight, if you hold down start, it'll buffer in a start press. It's on the first frame possible. So we're holding down start, and then we pick cut, and then we shoot him, and then we inch to the edge, and then as soon as he puts his hands up the second time, that's my cue. Oh, that's not where I want to be. Alright, we gotta go back. So I shoot, inch over to the edge of the door. So you can see how big the window is if you, because I didn't place that right away. So you see the edge of the door, where the door closes? Like that's where I would get, that's where I go. So I go cut, I go over, shoot, and then as soon as he puts his hands up again, like you'll see he'll put his hands up, that means he's gonna throw. As soon as you see his hands go up, you can shoot again, and that'll kill him. And yeah, that's pretty much Elecman stage. It's just Elecman stage is ladder drop shots on a bunch of the enemies, the magnet grab, and some magnet beams through the end of the stage, and then the fast climb. And that's pretty much Elecman stage. It's not too difficult. Once you get the hang of it, it's not too difficult. At the start, it's a very frustrating stage because any mistake you fall down another screen. All right, so we're gonna go to ice next, and we're just following the weakness order from this point. From the boss menu, we're gonna go to right, but we're just going from the save state. There, we shoot these guys. These guys are called crazy razies. Important, you want to pick up their drops. See if I can show what it looks like when you don't pick up their drops. If you don't pick up their drops, it causes a ton of lag. You don't need to get that first, guys, but these guys, like look at that lag. Look at that lag. So yeah, you really wanna make sure you actually pick up those drops. It's a really small thing that you might not realize, but it's even if they give you like a bad drop, which is like an energy or a health thing. I changed the magnet here. Shoot out a full beam, jump from the edge, and we're just placing full beams here. Oh, and I fell off. I don't make a safe state at the top. Alright, so we're going to be setting up to try and do a zip over the water here. Let's see if I can get it. It is a tricky zip. So I jump from the edge of the platform below there. I jump from the spiny guy. And then we got it first try. So that's what that very first zip looks like. It is tricky, and I find I do not get it very often. But it saves a couple of seconds. and you're already going that way, so you might as well go for it. It's just getting used to that muscle memory. That's all you can do for that one. All right, so this part right here is actually very important. Let me just go to other save. So this is where we're gonna do a screen wrap here. All right. So yeah, this is where we're doing our first. If you don't go for that first zip, it only saves a couple of seconds. You don't really have to go for it. But this is like the first major one that we're gonna go for. This is just called the ice wrap. So you see the score at the very top. If you place a beam, if I can actually place it right there. See how it's perfectly lined up under the black outline of the numbers. There you go. That top one was right. Top one is right. That's right. You need to. This is the most important muscle memory in the whole game when it comes to the zips. You need to be able to stick this like pretty much every time. If you can do that every time, you can do every zip in the game pretty much. So you just need to. What I would do to practice, I would just go back and forth like this, trying to line it up with the bottom of the score. And the reason we're using the score is because it's the only artifact on the screen that does not actually change. So it is consistent from stage to stage. So you run up, place a full beam. Oh, that's a little too far. So yeah, you really need to drill this muscle memory. It takes like 1,000 times to get good at it. You see, you should be able to hit it over and over and over again. So we go up, place it, full beam, do a full jump onto this, and then just tap left. And then, as soon as you get to the end of the beam, which is when the screen stops scrolling. Come on now. Alright. So full jump onto this, tap left, and from there, we're actually hanging over the edge, and we're going to jump from there. If I can do it. So as soon as you stop zipping, then we're just going to jump, hold right and B to buffer this right beam place, and then you just jump again. And that's the first wrap. So get that, full jump onto it, tap left, jump once you're at the end of the zip, and then you hold B and right through the transition. You don't have to time it, you just hold right and B, and on the first frame possible, it will place that. And that'll screen wrap you, and that saves you having to do these two annoying Yoku block sections. Alright, now there's two ways to get across this section. If you want to go for there's another wrap we can do. I don't know if I have a save state here. Oh, I do. Nice. So I'll go over the way I do it first. So we jump up here, we start placing a full beam, jump from the edge, set it just past the second guy, and then I drop down and get this. Shoot when the penguin appears, I jump to move that guy up, and that's how I make it across. These platform guys are maybe the worst RNG in the game. They're total RNG where they go. Like, they just do whatever the hell they want. And they are very, very annoying. And, okay, there's another wrap we can do right here. So, you know that muscle memory that we drilled? That you should have drilled to do that first ice wrap? You can do that exact same muscle memory right here. Like that. And line up perfectly with this cloud. You can line up perfectly with this cloud. Just do one standing beam, one standing beam, one standing beam. Then you zip, and you do the exact same thing that we did in the first wrap. And that saves you a couple seconds there. Pretty easily. So my cues are, I set it at the edge, I set this beam, when we just get past the second platform, we jump. You have to watch out because the height of the bolts are going to be random. They always shoot them at the same time, but they're going to be at random heights. Let me set that. And this is the route you're going to be doing if you want to go for corridor zips, which is what corridor zips save a lot of time, and we'll get to them in a second. Alright, so there's another way to do this where you skip the middle refill, but if you go for all the other zips, you're not going to be able to go for any corridor zips, I think, unless you like play the stage perfectly. But I place one at the very edge here. And I go, as soon as those clouds start, I jump. As soon as I get to the energy, I jump. And then you try and place the beam on the correct pixel, like I showed for the very first optional zip you can do at the very start of the stage. It's the exact same. It's the exact same setup, same height and everything. It's just a little bit harder because there's a lot of lag right here. So placing the beam is a lot harder. And yeah, that's pretty much it for that section. Okay, I don't know if I didn't say why, but you want to do on these zip beams. Come on. So jumping onto this beam, you want to always do a full jump, and that is going to eliminate the possibility of you getting subpixeled on placing this beam here. There's a chance if you don't do a full jump that the beam will be like part of a pixel too low, and if it gives you that subpixel, you're not going to be able to do the screen wrap. So it's very important on most. I'll point out the ones you need to do a full jump on, but that prevents the subpixeling, which is nice. And then we have the corridor, and in these corridors you can place the beam at a perfect height like that. If you place it on the exact perfect pixel, you can zip through this corridor. It's a neat time save. Oh, it's a little bit too low on the second one. Oh, I'll try and get a good one to show you what a good corridor looks like. Yeah, that's pretty good. This is just straight muscle memory. You have to just grind this out with a ton of practice. But you see, you can get pretty consistent at it. And I think that's pretty much it for Ice. Iceman, super easy. So I hold start during this to buffer in a menu. Then I go up 2 to elect, full jump, and you just. I guess this is the first select glitch we had to do for a boss. We can go do that again. There's a neato little select glitch we can do. We do on most of the bosses from here on out. If you don't actually, I can go over. So you don't get this wrap. Don't get this wrap. Whatever, we have to do that walk. This guy, I want to pause when you get into him, and you can actually save a menu and change into elect there. You always want to jump into those the doors right there. Saves a few frames. And you can want to kill the first guy and then jump over the rest. And in this case, you can buffer anything into a boss fight. So we're gonna hold A and right, and then at the height of our jump, shoot. And then we're gonna pause with select once our weapon is over him. And you'll see we hit him once, and then we hit him again, and we hit him again. So pausing with select over a boss, their iframes continue to run after we press pause. So the idea is you shoot him, pause, wait for his iframes to run out, pause, or unpause, pause again, wait for those iframes to run out, and then you can unpause the third time and that'll kill him. Oh. All the bosses have different timings for this, so you just have to get used to the length of their iframes. But you see, if you get into a good rhythm like that, you kill them very, very rapidly. And it's going to be the same for fire, it's going to be the same for bomb, and it's going to be the same for Gutsman. And also the Yellow Devil, when we get there. So that's Iceman. It's a very tricky stage to get all the zips in. Alright, so for fire, from the boss menu, it's 2 to the left, and that'll be fire. After you kill ice. Oh, what is this? What is this save state? So this is the first zip. You want to change the magnet right away. Jump up this ladder, and then we're gonna do a little zip just to get through this wall. The easy way I find to do it is, you see these rectangles in the background? You want to be lined up with the second set of them here. And then we're going to hit our head, and then on our way down, we're going to place a beam. Perfectly like that. And that is the correct pixel. The pixel is right in between, like right where Mega Man's forehead would be, pretty much. So it's a pixel in between 2 lines. So if you're hitting lined up perfectly with a line, that means it's off. It needs to be directly in the middle, just like that. And that's, once again, pure muscle memory. You just gotta get the hang of it. It's really easy to adjust. If you see you're hitting it too late, if you're going too low, you're hitting it too late. If you're going too high, you're hitting it too early. It's pretty easy to adjust. Hey, jerk. See, that's too high, and the second one I got it. And then you just tap left once you're on the beam, and then tap right once you get to the other side to stop the zip. And I'm actually going to game over here real quick, just to refill my magnet beam. So we start off, pause, magnet. Yeah, I didn't realize the save state is low on magnet. Alright, here we go. Right here, you can actually place a beam right here. You pretty much only have one shot for it. If you place it just right, you can do a mini corridor zip, like all the way to the end of this. I'll get it there. Oh, it was a little bit too high. And then I just do 2 beams up like that. Those can be tricky, and they do take a little bit. You really just need to play around with magnet for a while to get the feel for it. You only need 2 beams. They don't have to be max height beams at all. This room, just do... Oh, that was a little bit low. I do have a save state here because I struggle with this room. So you just want to do 2 beams, and then you can jump up here and then place another beam to get a little extra height on the next screen. There's a couple of ways you can do this room. And you can do a beam like that. That's pretty much the standard way that I do it, like that. Where am I? That was weird. And then we're gonna do 1 beam and then up to get to here. You can do 2 beams if you have to, but once you get used to the magnet beam, it's not too difficult. So as soon as I get up here, I start doing a full beam, and then I run into both these energies to refill our magnet. As soon as we start refilling our energy here, we're going to let go of B to not place any more. And then this is another zip we can do here. Pretty much the same as the the ice, wrap. Pretty similar to that. This one you just do it on the move. Oh, see, if you place it a little short, you just have to do another. So what I do, yeah, I do this. As soon as we hit the energy, we let go so we don't place multiple beams. We jump on, start placing one, then we try to get it on the correct pixel. It's tricky to have this muscle memory down. That was saves it right there. One too high there. You just have to get the feeling for when you get the right pixel. We got it on the backup one. You do a full jump onto this one also. Oops, I didn't place it far enough. If not, no big deal. Select through that. We can still get this little zip, place a beam, full jump into the ceiling, and down into the pit, and we'll zip through. It's free. It's free, so you might as well take it. Yeah, this one has tricky muscle memory. I know there's some people do different setups for this, but I find this to be the easiest and most consistent for me. Oh, I got on the second one. Full jump. We buffer right and B again, and then we tap left once we get down here. Alright, we shoot a beam across, and you shoot another one to get up here. It's a small time save. Alright, now this is the big zip. So you do a beam and then you get up here. This is the big zip in Fire. So the setup for this, I'll show you the way I do it next, but this is the really easy way. You need to get to this exact pixel. So you see, come on, there it is. There's a black outline on the very top of Mega Man's head, and it needs to be like just under the black outline of that particular rung. And this is going to line us up to be even with the score. So like that's too low. You can see there's a little bit of space in between the rung. There should be no space. Like that's too high. And that's perfectly it. So we're going to shoot a beam to the right. We're going to get on, we're going to shoot another beam, and that's how we start it. I think I have a save here. I will just save here. You jump up, get to the correct pixel, just like that. We're going to shoot to the right, and then shoot another beam, standing beam. And then we're going to jump, and then hold up and right. And we're going to grab onto, you see the ladder at the very bottom of the screen? We're actually going to grab onto that ladder from above the screen, and it's going to actually take us up. So beam, beam, jump from there. That's where I jump from. You can actually jump from another place. So I jump from, like, right here, pretty much. You can use the black background as a visual cue. That's pretty much where I go, or even a little bit further. That was actually going to be death, but... yeah, so that's the correct spot. You can also jump from, I believe you can jump from the third digit of the score here. So you see that 7, or whatever the number will be. That third digit, I believe you can jump from there and it'll work. I did not do a full jump. You have to do a full jump if you jump from there, I think. I'm not doing a full jump. My muscle memory for the other way is too strong. Oh yeah, that way's pretty easy. So you just do a full jump and hold up and right. And if you do it correctly, you're going to be exactly like this. You'll see there's a pretty, no, I do not want to update. You'll see there's a You can see the space in between his hand and the gray wall right there. That's what the space will look like if you do it correct. If you do it incorrectly, which you can actually hear it with an audio cue, he like bounces. You can hear him bouncing on top of the beam. Oops. Let's see if I can do it incorrectly for you. Nope, that was right. If you hold A too long in the jump, you're actually going to grab the ladder from below. I keep doing it correctly. Whatever. Well, if you do it incorrectly, as soon as you try to do the zip, it's going to kill you. So you'll know if you do it incorrectly. And his hand will be like 1 pixel higher than it is right now. So you'll get to the point where you'll visually be able to tell that you did it wrong. So once you get to the other screen correctly, you want to shoot a beam to the right, shoot a beam to the left, and then you tap up to get the zip going. Oh. You have to be aware, you can get sub-pixel there like that, and you won't be able to get on the beam. So I shoot to the right, shoot to the left, tap up, and then I jump out of it. As soon as you start the zip, you can jump out of it, pretty much. There's a little bit of a safer way, which I've seen some people do. As soon as you start the zip, you can tap right and stop and just jump out of it. And this skips us having to jump up there, and then do this little switchback. So it saves a pretty good amount of time. But this is one of the hardest zips to learn at the start. So I like to do a short beam here and jump out. But not many other people do this short beam like I do. Oh, okay, so this is incorrect. And you see, as soon as you tap up for that one, it kills you. That was actually the incorrect pixel. But I like to do this. I actually like to jump out earlier than that. But once you recognize the correct pixel to be on for that ladder, there we go. So that's pretty much what I like to do. We'll see if I can do it the other way. Most everyone else likes to shoot a really long beam like this, but I don't quite know it. You have to watch another video to figure out. You use the bullet at the top as a cue, but yeah. So it's shoot a beam. Don't get sub-pixeled. Shoot a beam, jump either close, and then we're gonna shoot right, shoot left, and then tap up, and then you can jump out of it as soon as you clear this wall here, which is pretty much right away. And I really recommend doing it the short way. I feel like it's safer. There's less things that can go wrong. And you can tap right to stop if you're having trouble jumping out too early, or if you're having trouble jumping too late. You can just tap right and stop it, then jump out. Easy peasy. You go through these guys. And if you actually have an extra beam, you can go for let's see. See, that's dead. That's what happens if you have an extra beam, which I think I do in this. You can go for a quarter zip right there like that. And I believe that actually makes it faster than just putting a really long beam. Okay, there's one alternate way you can set this up, and this is the way I actually do it, because I believe it's 1 to 2 seconds faster. So that ice wrap muscle memory that we figured out, that we drilled. We do that right here. You can do the exact same setup without even getting on the ladder. And you use the rectangles as the background. Oops, that's too low. That's correct. And then you just do a standing beam on that, a standing beam on the next one, and then you're at the same place you are from the ladder setup. So yeah, like what that looks like quickly is, oh, see if we can even get it. And that's the really fast setup, which nobody does. Nobody does but me. It's a tricky setup. And if you want to do quarter zips at the end, which save time, you pretty much need to do the stage perfectly and not waste any extra beams in order to do this strat, because this uses an extra beam right here. But I really wouldn't recommend doing that setup until you're going for like a really good time, like a sub 1920. Maybe not even then. Like it only saves a second or two, or it can potentially end your run because you run out of magnet beams. So the safe way, yeah, just come up here, 2 beams, do your jump, nice and easy. And then if you did it correctly, we'll just get this just for show. You'll get to this this corridor, and we can actually do two corridor zips in here. There's one. Oh, that's too high. Oh, there's another one. And luckily, the corridor zips, once you practice them in the one stage, say you practice them in ice, it's actually the exact same muscle memory in every corridor. That's the neat thing with this game, is that the muscle memory for like every stage is built off of the previous stages. So once you get the muscle memory down in this game, you can do pretty much everything in every stage, which is really neat. Oh, I have no health in this save state. This one's actually a little bit tricky. I think this is the trickiest corridor zip. Specifically the second beam. Come on. If you try and place this beam too far over here, let's see if I can show it. It causes a ton of lag. Yeah, like this. It causes a ton of lag with both these guys shooting bullets and the beam out. So I actually like to stay close to this guy, and I try and set it here to avoid most of the lag. So those are 2 quarter zips you can do here. Alright, Fireman. He's easy peasy. Pause, up 2 to ice. And we're buffering that pause, as usual. Shoot. And then we're just going to do our select glitch on him. Oh, he double KO'd me. Oh. Yeah, it's just because I don't have any health in that save state. He actually shouldn't hit you if you do it correctly. Yeah, let's go through here. If you choose not to go for the quarter zips, which we can show that. Because actually going for them and missing them actually costs a lot of time. What I would do is you change to ice right here. I shoot from right here. That's where I would shoot. Just a standing shot. And then you freeze both of those guys. And then you just go down the hallway. If you were starting out, I would recommend probably doing this and not going for the quarter zips. Because until you get good at the quarter zips, it costs you a lot of time to fail them. Because you keep getting hit by enemies. So you just get a nice rhythm going, and you wreck him. He's really easy to kill without getting hit. And that's Fireman. The main big zips are the zip at the very start, the little one, the big zip into the screen wrap, which has the same muscle memory as the very first optional zip in Iceman, and then the big screen scroll, the big fire zip. Those are the main ones. The tricky one is the main big fire zip, or the third one I showed you. It's tricky at the very start, but once you get the hang of it, you hit it pretty much every time. Alright, so that's fire. Yeah, fire is a very, very difficult stage to do optimally. Like it's very, very hard to hit every single trick. Ice and fire back to back it can cost you a lot of time if you have a bad couple of stages. Alright, so now we got Bombman. One of the easiest stages with the easiest zip. So after beating Fireman, we either go to the left 3 times or go to the right 3 times to select him. To me, personally, picking Bombman is the scariest part of the run. Just, it's very easy to rush and, like, only tap left twice and then accidentally pick fire again. Or, accidentally pick ice. It's very embarrassing and it will probably happen to you. You just have to hope you're not on a good pace when it happens. Alright, so right away we jump, shoot this flea. And you pretty much react to what these fleas do. These fleas are unfortunately random, what height they jump. But you can get the hang on pretty much drill them with a leading shot every time. Alright, here we jump up, jump into that pause, and then we go down 2, and we're going to pick ice. Then you do quick jumps, select through that guy, quick jumps, and we'll shoot that guy from down there. And then if we jump and hit these from the top, let's do that up. If you do that just right, you can make it through without getting hit by this guy here. Jump up. Or we're going to shoot ice at this left guy with a drop shot. And that causes us to delay enough to not get hit by the very first bullet at the top of the ladder. If you don't slow down at all, you actually get hit by a bullet. Alright, we jump here. My cue for here is I jump from this right here, and at the height of my jump I shoot, and that freezes that Sniper Joe. I jump up here, and then we go up 3 to get back to Magnet. Jump through here, Magnet there, and then you can just do a Magnet Beam all the way across. There is an optional zip we can go for right here, which I will show. This zip has once again, has the same muscle memory as the middle fire zip. So the one where we're placing beams after the refill, and then we do a small jump and reset. And the very first ice wrap, it has the same muscle memory. So we place one, I place a standing beam, and then I place another beam that's 1 pixel too high. But if you do it correctly, it's going to look something like that. There we go. And then you need to get past this pillar. If you jump on it before the pillar, there's no ground below you. You see there's just empty space down there, so you won't be able to zip, and you'll get stuck. Let's see if I can show what it looks like when you get stuck. So yeah, you jump on it, you see it, I'm stuck and I couldn't go, and if you jump from there, it kills you. You jump onto this beam, tap left, and that was a short zip. You want to go all the way. You want to zip all the way to that ladder. There we go. You need to hold up. The important thing is after you tap left there, for that zip, you need to hold up. If you don't, this is what happens. See if I can show it off. It actually kills you. So you need to hold up on that particular zip, or else it will kill you. I think it's the only. It's not the only zip in the game that'll kill you if you don't do something, but it's the only one that you have to hold up. But this is purely optional. It saves a couple of seconds, and it just brings us right to the ladder. All right, so now this is pretty much this is the last trick in Bomb. Bomb is really easy. So this is I'll show you 3 different setups for this. So this is actually pretty similar to the big fire zip that we did, in that we're gonna grab this ladder. We're gonna grab it from above, and we're gonna scroll up a screen. So you make stairs with this, and then you jump up. Now remember that fire pixel that we found? It's the exact same pixel here. It's the exact same spot on the ladder. So we shoot right. Oops. Some pixeling me. Where's my save for this? Okay, here we go. So you just want to make stairs. I don't do it this way, so I'm not good at it. Okay. You shoot right. Walk on the beam, shoot another full beam, jump on this, tap left, and then hit up. If you do it correctly, we're going to be on this screen. Stairs, stair, up, up. Line up to the pixel. Jump on the beam, and then you hit up after you've turned left on the beam. And we'll climb, and then we'll be up here. So as soon as you get up here, shoot one to the left, and then hit select, unselect, and then we're gonna start zipping. And as soon as the screen stops, we hit right like that, and that's the big zip. Saves a bunch of time having to walk through that whole above screen. Oops. I accidentally jumped instead of hit up, and that'll screen scroll you. So this is the old way, and this is the super easy, super free way. Like, if you're just starting out, this is the way you want to do it. If you do not hit right at the end, you will die. Because it screen wraps you when you fall into it. You can get subpixel there, so it actually is advisable if you're going to do this this setup. As soon as you know you're on the right pixel like that, shoot a couple of beams as safety. So if you don't, you just die if you don't hit right at the very end. So yeah, that's the really easy setup. Now there are 2 setups we can do from this right side actually, which both save time over that. So you remember that once again we come back to that ice wrap, putting the beam on the score, that muscle memory. Let's see if I can do it. I actually don't do it this way, so we'll see if I can get it this way. Ooh, nope, that was way too low. So you do a beam to get up here. There it is. And you can actually do it from there. That is what most people that do it from the right side do it that way, I believe. Oop. So since it's that same muscle memory, we can apply it here also. That's why it's so important to drill that ice wrap setup. It's so important because we can use it everywhere. And there's one final setup. This is the way I do it. This is the Nadua setup. This way actually only requires 2 beams. Oop, that was a little too low. So you place 1 beam, and then you place a beam immediately above the ladder, like that. And you can do it like that. That's the fastest way. It's also the hardest way. Oh, that's 1 too high. Oh no! That was it. The problem with this, the way that I do it here, is that if you miss it on the first try, this bullet guy comes back, and he just wrecks your day. So if you're just starting out with this, I would recommend the ladder setup for sure. It's free, only costs maybe 2 or 3 extra seconds. Like, it doesn't cost very much time. But if you want to go for like a really top time, you would do one of these right side setups, just to shave off a couple extra seconds. The important part, if you do that way, you need to make sure, before you hit up to go up the ladder, you absolutely need to be sure that you hit left. Because if you're not facing left when you hit that ladder, I will show you what happens. Come on, I'm trying to face right here. As soon as you... Okay, this should kill me. Yeah. So that's what happens. If that happens to you, if you keep getting killed that way, that just means that you're not facing left. Like, you just need to make sure that you're... I tapped left a couple of times here, actually, before I hit up the climb. And then that ensures that you won't die. And this fall, you just get to the right side, and you want to tap left here, to face left. That'll give you a little zip to get closer. Here, we do our pause buffer, go up 1 to flame. Same thing as the other bosses. It's really easy. Do I have a save on him? There is a faster way to get a kill on this guy, which is what I do. I do a jump shot like that. It's a little bit harder, but it probably saves like a second. And it's a 50-50 whether or not he does that big jump over you, or he does a little short jump where he lands like right here. So you just have to be ready to react to which pattern he gives you. He's one of the few bosses. It's pretty much just him and Gutsman that are random. And that's Bomb. Bomb is, there's only 2 zips in it. You can do that optional zip, which you don't have to, because it's kind of hard to set up, but I feel like you're already going that way, you might as well go for it. And you have to make sure, if you get that zip, that you're holding up to go up the ladder, or else you will die. And then there's the big spike zip, which is, you do it from the ladder setup, it's free. It's really, really easy. And there's 2 right side setups if you choose to save a couple of seconds. But they both are, they're much harder than the ladder setup. And that's Bomb. Bomb is probably the easiest stage. It's a very, very easy stage. And then we're off to Guts. Probably everyone's least favorite stage as a child. And so from the boss menu, we're hitting 1 to the right, and then we're already at Guts. So start off, shoot these guys. Pause once we're up here. Now my cue for this, for setting this very first beam, it's gonna be off now because I'm taking so long. So as soon as I get up here, I unpause, I start placing a beam, and as soon as I get to the edge of here, I stop. And that's usually pretty much, that's good. That's a good distance, so we'll try it. So yeah, and then we'll jump on that, place a standing beam, jump, place a standing beam, jump, place a standing beam. And then we'll make it to here. Pretty easy. You can show an alternate way. We'll see if I can still do it. I actually don't go for this way anymore because it's really scary. Alright, you place from the very edge. Place one there. And then we're going to jump down on this lower one. Ah, I missed it. This gives us an option to go for an extra zip, which it's really I find it really scary. You have to like pretty much not slow down at all, or else you won't make this. There we go. And you place a beam up, and then you place another one, and that's a little bit too high. And then you would place one more, and then you could zip past these helicopter guys, and it zips you to like right here. It probably saves like 3 seconds. That would be my guess. But I would not recommend going for that. It's very, very, very easy to die on it. Let's do that. Shoot to there. Whoa. And then you can even jump off that last beam if you feel like you placed it too soon. As long as you place it a standing beam off the moving platform, then you're good to go. So for these guys, you can jump and juke them. There's a spot like right here you can actually jump from, where you don't have to slow down at all. We'll see if I can do it in motion. You don't have to slow down at all to get past those guys. Oh no. If you get hit, you might have to adjust the length of that beam. Oh, like that. I mean, there's no shame in staying alive there. I'm losing just a few seconds. So I jump early, and I jump from that spot, and both those guys, you don't have to slow down at all. So now we go for another zip here. This is also exactly the same as the very first ice zip. As soon as we jump up here, we're placing a beam, and then on the move, we're placing it here. Placing a beam again, placing another beam, and then from this one, we try and do that setup. That was 1 pixel too high. And so I place beams like at the edge of this barrier here. That's my cue for where I set it. I just find it really easy to put. And then I set it in the middle of that big rock in the background. That's where I set the next one. I just really like finding visual cues for everything. And then we try and place that. It's once again one too high. Try and get it once to show it to you. I mean, once again, we're already going this way, so I feel like you might as well go for this zip. I mean, you might get lucky and get it every once in a while. There it is. So then, as soon as we get to where those spikes are, then we can jump on it and then do a screen wrap. And then we just jump down the middle. That's what the zip looks like. I mean, if you don't want to do the zip, you can just keep going straight across. You just go over all these guys. You can select through this guy. There's one small thing. You do not want to get hit. If you get hit going through this transition, I mean, we'll see if I can make it happen. If you get hit going through this transition, you immediately want to hit select, and then unselect and get over to this. Because if you fall down this, it's very hard to get over, and you just hit these spikes and die. It's 1 pixel too high. You can do a beam to get over him like that. We're gonna jump down the middle, fall down the middle. We're gonna go left. And I hold B through this transition to place a beam. To jump over the big eye here. And then we're already at the corridor. This is a really short stage. Here we can do corridor zips again. That would still be pretty good. Even without getting both the corridor zips. So that's pretty much ideal what you want. And I feel like if you're not comfortable, you probably shouldn't go for him here. You should just, I'd say probably switch to Buster and just Buster through all these Mets on the ground. But if you're going for like a really good time, you want to start getting used to the corridor zips. Come on now. Just because they save so much time. But you see it like missing. Like you can cost yourself a lot of time by missing these corridor zips. Ooh, come on. Hey, there's one. But it's all just muscle memory. Same muscle memory as the ice quarter zip and the fire quarter zip. And then we're off to the biggest jerk boss, Gutsman. So we're buffering start, and if you had your magnet out, you go down 2. And this one, he can jump either straight up or to the right or to the left. You want him to jump straight up, but he rarely does because he's a jerk. But there's a particular spot you can throw your bomb from where you can actually hit him no matter where he jumps from. So I think my cue is we're to use the crack in between the rocks again, those 2 rocks. I jump from there, and then at the height of my jump, as I'm holding right, I throw the bomb. And then I jump to the middle, and then hit select where he's getting hit. Wait, you have to make sure his iframes go out, and then do it again, and then do it again. And if you do it just right, this is called the ass grab. It's just a little swag grab that saves a little bit of time. I think I would save. Yeah. So, Gutsman will troll you if you throw the bomb in the wrong spot. But I think the cue I use works pretty well. It's like pretty much as soon as the front of Mega Man gets to that crack, then I jump, shoot, and then I jump to the middle. And as soon as I'm in the middle, I know that it's just about to explode. Like after I take that hit, and then I jump to the middle, I know it's about to explode, and then we just. I think he's going to give me this pattern every time here, unfortunately. Yeah, with a couple minutes of practice on this boss, you should be able to get him down pretty easily. And yeah, Gutsman's pretty easy. There's the one optional zip you can go for at the very start, which I would recommend not going for because it's really hard and really dangerous. But then there's the middle zip, which I recommend going for, into the screen wrap. And then there's quarter zips. That's all there is to Gutsman. It's pretty easy. Gutsman will troll you as a boss, but you'll get the hang of him. And I think that's pretty much the gist of the 6 robos. I'm going to make another video just for the Wily stages. But yeah, as always, if anyone has any questions, feel free to stop by my channel and ask. Like, I'm always happy to show off anything people are having a problem with. Alright, yeah, so I'll be back with the Wily stages. Alright, thanks for watching.